Late Tuesday night, I'm hunched over my laptop in the basement, wrestling with our smart locks firmware update. The house creaks above me. Reina's probably asleep, dreaming of billable hours and courtroom victories. Me? I'm here debugging code, like always, the invisible husband keeping the gears turning. That's when her phone pings on the workbench. She'd left it charging down here again, something she'd been doing more often lately. The notification glows. Cloud backup complete. I shouldn't look. 23 years of marriage should mean something, right? But the screen stays lit, and I catch a glimpse of a text thread that makes my stomach drop. Felix, can't wait to see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. Wear that blue thing I like. Reina, you know I will. Darren's working late again anyway. He never notices anything. Felix, my brother-in-law, married to Reina's sister Mira for 15 years. Father of 2 kids who call me Uncle Darren. I stare at the screen until it goes dark, then stare at my reflection in the black glass. 47 years old, graying at the temples, wearing a ratty Ohio State sweatshirt that's seen better decades. When did I become invisible in my own life? The smart lock beeps. Update complete. How's that for irony? I can fix every piece of technology in this house, but I couldn't fix the one thing that mattered most. I scroll through more messages, my hands shaking. Hotel receipts, GPS coordinates, photos I wish I could unsee. This isn't some recent fling. They've been at this for months, maybe longer. Reina. Sometimes I wonder what I ever saw in him. So boring, so predictable. You make me feel alive again. Felix. He's always been a pushover. Remember in college? Even then, you could walk all over him. College. They've been talking about this since college. 25 years ago. I close the phone and sit back in my chair. The basement suddenly feels smaller, like the walls are pressing in. Upstairs, the floorboards creak as Reina moves around. Probably getting ready for bed, planning tomorrow's rendezvous while I sit here like an idiot. But here's the thing about being the invisible tech guy. You learn things, you see patterns, you understand systems, and more importantly, you understand how to break them. I fire up my laptop and start typing. First stop, our joint accounts. Reina always left the financial stuff to me, said she was too busy with real law to worry about money management. How convenient. By 3 a.m., I've moved our assets into a trust fund with my sister Nikki as co-trustee. Legal, clean, and completely reversible if this all turns out to be some horrible misunderstanding. But something tells me it won't. Next, I download everything from Reina's cloud backup. Photos, texts, emails, GPS data, all of it. Then I package it up and send it to someone who deserves to know the truth. My phone buzzes 30 minutes later. Mira, come over, now. I grab my jacket and head out into the Cleveland night. The suburbs are quiet, streetlights casting long shadows between the houses where normal families sleep peacefully, where husbands and wives don't betray each other with their own relatives. Mira's house is dark, except for the kitchen light. She answers the door in a bathrobe, her eyes red but determined. She's always been the stronger sister, the one who held everything together while Reina chased her career. How long have you known? She asks before I even step inside. About 6 hours. You? I've suspected for weeks. Felix's late nights, the new cologne, the way he looks at his phone. She leads me to the kitchen table where her laptop sits open. But this is proof. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. We sit in silence, looking at the evidence spread across her screen. Hotel receipts, restaurant charges, even a jewelry purchase I recognize. The necklace Reina wore to our anniversary dinner last month, the one she said was a gift from a grateful client. What do we do? Mira asks. I lean back in the chair, feeling something shift inside me, something cold and calculating. We make them pay. Darren, I've never seen you like this. That's because I've never been like this. I close the laptop. They think we're pushovers, boring, predictable. Maybe it's time to show them how wrong they are. Mira nods slowly. What did you have in mind? Leave that to me. But Mira, when this is over, they're going to wish they'd never been born. I don't sleep when I get home. Instead, I sit in my home office, planning. Reina thinks I'm predictable. She's about to learn that predictable people make the most dangerous enemies, because nobody sees them coming. First thing Thursday morning, I drive to Barry's gym downtown. Barry Koss has been running this place for 30 years, training everyone from weekend warriors to semi-pro fighters. He's also the only person I know who understands the value of controlled violence. Darren, haven't seen you here in months. Barry looks up from wrapping some kids' hands. What brings you back? I need to hit something, Barry, hard and often. He studies my face, reading the signs. Barry's good at that, seeing the rage simmering under the surface. Heavy bags open. Gloves are where you left them. I spend 2 hours pounding leather, working out 23 years of suppressed frustration. Every punch is Felix's smug face. Every combination is Reina's dismissive laugh. By the time I'm done, my knuckles are raw and my head is clear. Feel better? Barry asks, tossing me a towel. Getting there. You know, if someone's giving you trouble, sometimes the best revenge isn't physical. Sometimes it's making them destroy themselves. I look at him sharply. What do you mean? People like that, the ones who think they're untouchable, they get sloppy. They make mistakes. All you gotta do is give them enough rope. Smart man, Barry. No wonder he survived 30 years in this neighborhood. That afternoon, I put his advice to work. I drive to the Riverside Motel, a rundown place on the east side where desperate people do desperate things. According to the GPS data, this is where Reina and Felix have been meeting. I park across the street and wait. Sure enough, at 4:30 p.m., Felix's red Mustang convertible pulls into the lot. 10 minutes later, Reina's silver BMW joins it. They don't even try to be discreet. Felix kisses her right there in the parking lot before they disappear into room 237. I wait another hour, then make my move. Felix left his convertible top down, probably to show off. Big mistake. I walk over with a large Coke from the gas station next door and accidentally trip, spilling the entire sticky mess into his pristine leather interior. Oops, I mutter, loud enough for the security camera to pick up. As I'm walking back to my car, I notice someone else watching from the motel office. An elderly woman with a phone in her hand. She's recording everything. Perfect. 20 minutes later, my phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. Thought you might want to see this. Attached is a video of me accidentally ruining Felix's car, followed by another video of Felix and Reina emerging from their room to find the mess. Felix's reaction is priceless. He's screaming at the desk clerk, demanding to see security footage, threatening lawsuits. Reina tries to calm him down, but she keeps glancing around nervously. They both know this wasn't really an accident. Good. Let them sweat. That evening, Reina comes home acting normal. She kisses my cheek, asks about my day, complains about difficult clients. The performance is flawless. She should have been an actress instead of a lawyer. How was your afternoon? I ask innocently. Depositions, boring stuff. She doesn't even blink. What about you? You seem different today. Do I? Must be all the fresh air. I've been getting out more. She studies my face for a moment, then shrugs. Good for you. You spend too much time cooped up in that basement. If only she knew what I'd been doing in that basement. Friday brings the first real test. We're supposed to have dinner with Mira and Felix, a monthly tradition that now feels like walking into a minefield. But I'm ready. I arrive at the restaurant first, choosing a table with a clear view of the entrance. Mira arrives next, looking nervous but determined. We exchange a meaningful glance. She knows the plan. Felix and Reina arrive together, which is interesting. They claim they ran into each other in the parking lot, but their body language suggests otherwise. They're too comfortable, too familiar. Darren, Felix booms, slapping my shoulder. You look good, man. Been working out? A little. Barry's gym downtown. You should try it sometime. They have great heavy bags for working out frustrations. Felix's smile falters slightly. Yeah, maybe. Throughout dinner, I watch them. The subtle touches when they think nobody's looking. The inside jokes that exclude their spouses. The way Reina lights up when Felix talks, something she hasn't done with me in years. It's fascinating, really. Like watching a nature documentary about predators who don't realize they're being hunted. So, Darren, Felix says, cutting into his steak, Reina tells me you've been working late a lot. Big project? Something like that. I'm developing a new security system, cameras, tracking software, the works. You'd be amazed what technology can reveal about people's habits. Reina nearly chokes on her wine. That's nice, honey. Very thorough of you. I believe in being thorough, especially when it comes to protecting what's mine. The table goes quiet. Mira covers her mouth to hide a smile. Felix looks confused, but Reina understands perfectly. Her face has gone pale. Well, Felix says, trying to break the tension, sounds like you've got everything under control. I do now. As we're leaving, Felix corners me by the valet stand. Hey, about your car thing yesterday. What car thing? Someone vandalized my Mustang at a motel, poured soda all over it. The security footage was inconclusive. I look him straight in the eye. That's terrible. You should be more careful where you park. Some neighborhoods aren't safe for nice cars. He stares at me for a long moment, trying to read my expression, but I've had 23 years of practice hiding my thoughts from his wife. Yeah, he says finally. I'll remember that. As we drive home, Reina is unusually quiet. Finally, she speaks. You were acting strange tonight. Was I? I thought I was being myself. That's what I mean. I pull into our driveway and turn off the engine. Maybe you just haven't been paying attention to who I really am. She looks at me sharply. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing. Forget I said anything. But as we walk into the house, I can feel her watching me. Good. Let her wonder. Let her worry. The game has officially begun. Saturday morning, I wake up with a plan. Reina's already gone. Emergency client meeting, according to the note she left. More likely an emergency rendezvous, but that's fine. It gives me time to work. I head back to Barry's gym, but not just for the workout. Barry knows everyone in this town, and everyone trusts him. He's also got a mouth like a steel trap when he wants to, and loose lips when it serves his purposes. Back again? Barry grins as I wrap my hands. This is becoming a habit. Good habits are hard to break. I start working the speed bag, finding my rhythm. Barry, you know anything about Felix Roard? Mira's husband? Yeah, I know him. Loud mouth, thinks he's hot stuff because he sells real estate. Why? Just curious. Guy seems to have a lot of money for someone in residential sales. Barry pauses his own workout. Funny you mention that. Word around town is he's been flashing cash lately. New watch, expensive dinners. Either he's having a hell of a year or he's got income streams he doesn't talk about. Interesting. Course, could be he's just leveraged to the hilt. Guys like that, they'll mortgage their grandmother's grave to look successful. I file that information away. Every weakness is a potential weapon. After the gym, I drive to the public library and use their computers. Can't have this traced back to my home IP address. I create several anonymous email accounts and get to work. First target, Reina's law firm. Harrison, Blackwood, and Associates is old-school prestigious, the kind of place where reputation means everything. I craft a carefully worded email to the senior partners, expressing concern about one of their attorneys conducting personal business on company time. I attach selected photos from the hotel, nothing explicit, just enough to raise questions. Second target, Felix's real estate brokerage. I send an anonymous tip about his gambling habits to his broker in charge. I don't have proof of gambling yet, but Barry's comment about mysterious income sources gives me an idea where to look. Third target, the court of public opinion. I create a fake social media account and start following local gossip groups. This town loves scandal, and I'm about to give them the feast of their lives. But I'm not ready to go nuclear yet. This is about building pressure, creating doubt, making them paranoid. The real fireworks come later. Sunday brings our monthly family barbecue at Mira's house. Extended family, neighbors, kids running around. The perfect setting for psychological warfare. I arrive early to help Mira set up, but really to coordinate our strategy. How are you holding up? I ask as we arrange chairs on the patio. Better than I expected. Knowing the truth is almost a relief. She pauses, studying my face. You look different. Focused. I am focused on making them pay for what they've done to us. Darren, I need to ask, how far are you planning to take this? It's a fair question. A month ago, I would have said I'd never hurt a fly, but that was before I discovered my wife's betrayal, before I realized how little I meant to the people I'd spent my life supporting. As far as it takes, Mira nods slowly. Then I'm with you. Just promise me something. When this is over, promise me we'll still be the good guys. I promise. It's a lie, and we both know it. But some promises are meant to be broken. Felix and Reina arrive separately, maintaining their charade. Felix brings expensive wine and tells loud stories about his latest sales. Reina works the crowd like the politician she should have been, charming everyone with her wit and intelligence. They're good at this, too good. I spend the afternoon observing, taking mental notes. Who talks to whom knows what, who might be useful later. This isn't just a family gathering, it's reconnaissance. Around 4 o'clock, I notice Felix and Reina slip away separately. 5 minutes apart, heading toward the house. I follow at a distance, staying in the shadows. They're in Mira's kitchen, standing close, whispering. I can't hear the words, but their body language screams intimacy. Felix touches Reina's arm. She laughs softly at something he says. They're planning their next meeting, right here in Mira's house, while their spouses entertain guests outside. The audacity is breathtaking. I pull out my phone and start recording. The kitchen window gives me a perfect angle, and the afternoon light is ideal. I capture 2 full minutes of intimate conversation before they separate. Game-changing evidence. When they return to the party, I'm already back outside, playing cornhole with my nephew. The perfect uncle, the devoted husband, the man nobody suspects of anything. Uncle Darren, my nephew says, you're really good at this game. Practice, kiddo, and patience. Sometimes you have to wait for the perfect shot. As the party winds down, I corner Jenny Collins, Reina's best friend since law school. Jenny's had a few too many glasses of wine, and her tongue is looser than usual. Darren, you're looking good these days. Very mysterious. Mysterious? That's a new one. Reina says you've been acting different lately, more confident. It's attractive. Maybe I'm just tired of being taken for granted. Jenny laughs, but there's something calculating in her eyes. We all get taken for granted sometimes. The trick is finding ways to feel appreciated elsewhere. The comment hits like a slap. Jenny knows. She's known all along, maybe even encouraged it. Interesting philosophy, I say carefully. Oh, I'm full of interesting philosophies. Like my theory that marriage is just a business partnership that's outlived its usefulness. Some people are brave enough to admit it, others just adapt. She's not just complicit, she's an active participant. The friend who provides alibis, who covers for Reina's absences, who probably helped arrange their meetings. Another name for my list. As I'm leaving, Mira walks me to my car. Did you get what you needed? She asks quietly. More than I expected. Jenny's involved. Mira's face hardens. I should have known. She's always been jealous of what other people have. Don't worry, I'll handle Jenny too. What's next? I look back at the house where Felix and Reina are saying their goodbyes, maintaining their perfect act for the remaining guests. Next, we turn up the heat. Monday morning, I call in sick to work. My software consulting business can survive without me for a few days, and I have more important things to do. First stop, downtown Cleveland, specifically the courthouse. Public records are beautiful things. They tell stories that people would rather keep hidden. I spend 3 hours digging through property records, business filings, and court documents. What I find is fascinating. Felix's real estate empire isn't as solid as he pretends. He's got mortgages on top of mortgages, and several properties are in pre-foreclosure. His brokerage is barely breaking even, and there are liens against his business account. But here's the interesting part. 6 months ago, he suddenly started making large payments on his debts. Cash payments, right around the time his affair with Reina started getting serious. I dig deeper and find the source. Felix has been embezzling from his clients' escrow accounts, using new deposits to cover old withdrawals. It's a classic Ponzi scheme that only works as long as new money keeps coming in. And Reina, with her legal expertise, has been helping him cover his tracks. It's not just adultery, it's fraud. Federal fraud. I photograph everything, then head to my next stop, the offices of the Cleveland Plain dealer. I don't go inside, too risky. Instead, I mail a package to their investigative reporter, a woman named Sarah Martinez, who's built her career exposing white-collar crime. The package contains copies of all the financial documents, along with a typed note, Felix Roard, Pinnacle Realty. Follow the money. No signature, no return address. Just enough information to point her in the right direction. Next, I drive to Reina's law firm. Harrison, Blackwood, and Associates occupies 3 floors of a downtown high-rise, all glass and marble and old money respectability. I park across the street and wait. At 12:30, Reina emerges for lunch. She's not alone. Jenny Collins is with her, along with 2 other women I don't recognize. They head to an upscale bistro 3 blocks away. I follow at a distance, then take a table where I can observe without being seen. The restaurant is crowded and noisy, perfect cover for what I'm planning. I activate a recording app on my phone and move to a table closer to theirs. The acoustics in the place are terrible, but I catch fragments of conversation. Can't keep doing this. Darren's getting suspicious. Felix says we should. After the Henderson closing, it's not much, but it's enough to confirm they're actively planning something. The Henderson closing, that's Felix's biggest deal of the year, a commercial property worth $3 million. If he's planning to disappear after that closes, it means he's getting ready to run, and he's planning to take Reina with him. I head home and spend the afternoon preparing for the next phase. If they want to play games, I'll give them a game they'll never forget. That evening, I suggest to Reina that we have dinner at Romano's, an expensive Italian place downtown. She seems surprised. We haven't been out to dinner alone in months, but agrees. What she doesn't know is that Romano's is Felix's favorite restaurant. According to his credit card records, he's been there 6 times in the past month, always with clients, always charging expensive wine and intimate dinners for 2. We're seated at a corner table with a view of the entire dining room. Reina seems nervous, checking her phone constantly, glancing around like she's expecting someone. She is. At 8:15, Felix walks in with a blonde woman I don't recognize. They're seated 4 tables away, close enough for Reina to see, but far enough to maintain plausible deniability. Reina goes rigid when she spots them. "Someone you know?" I ask innocently. "What? No, I just thought I saw someone from work." "Ah, well, you work with a lot of people." Felix hasn't noticed us yet. He's too busy playing the charming host, ordering wine, making his date laugh. But I can see Reina's jealousy building with every passing minute. This is the beautiful thing about cheaters. They can't stand being cheated on. "Excuse me," Reina says, standing abruptly. "I need to use the restroom." She doesn't go to the restroom. She walks straight to Felix's table. I can't hear what she says, but I can see Felix's face go pale. The blonde woman looks confused as Reina leans down and whispers something in Felix's ear. Then Reina straightens up, forces a smile, and walks back to our table. "Everything okay?" I ask. "Fine, just fine." But she's shaking with rage, and she can barely touch her food. Felix, meanwhile, is making excuses to his date, who looks increasingly uncomfortable with the situation. "You know what?" I say, loud enough for nearby tables to hear. "This reminds me of a story Barry told me at the gym, about a guy who thought he was so smart, playing multiple women at the same time. But the thing about players is, they always get played in the end." Reina stares at me. "Why are you telling me this?" "No reason. Just thought it was an interesting story." Felix's date leaves before the main course arrives. He sits alone at his table, shooting venomous looks in our direction. Reina excuses herself again, this time actually going to the restroom. I know she's texting him, probably arranging a meeting, demanding explanations, making threats. The jealousy is eating her alive, and jealous people make stupid mistakes. When we get home, Reina goes straight to her home office and closes the door. I can hear her on the phone, her voice rising and falling in angry whispers. I go to my basement workshop and review the evening's work. Phase 1. Complete. I've introduced doubt and jealousy into their relationship, made them question each other's loyalty. Phase 2 starts tomorrow, and Phase 2 is where things get really interesting. Tuesday morning, I wake up to find Reina already gone. No note this time, just an empty coffee mug in the sink and the lingering scent of her perfume. I check my laptop and see that she's been active on her accounts all night. Credit card charges at 3 different hotels, GPS data showing her driving around the city until 4 a.m. She's spiraling, and that's exactly what I wanted. My phone rings. Mira. "Have you seen the news?" I turn on Channel 8, and there it is. Local real estate broker under investigation for fraud. Sarah Martinez is standing outside Felix's office, reporting that the FBI has opened an investigation into Pinnacle Realty's business practices. Holy cow, I breathe. That was fast. "Darren, what did you do?" "I gave them a push. The rest is their own doing." On screen, Felix emerges from his office looking haggard and desperate. He pushes past reporters without comment, but his face tells the whole story. He knows his world is collapsing. "The FBI raided his office an hour ago," Mira says. "Took boxes of files, computers, everything. Felix called me, crying like a baby, begging me to give him an alibi for last night." "What did you tell him?" "I told him to go to hell." Good for her. I spend the morning monitoring news coverage and social media. The story is spreading like wildfire through our community. Felix's clients are panicking, demanding to know if their money is safe. His business partners are distancing themselves. His reputation is in ruins. But I'm not done yet. At noon, I drive to the warehouse district on the east side of town. There's an abandoned building there that I've been watching, perfect for what I have in mind. I spend 2 hours setting up equipment, projectors, speakers, cameras, everything I need for the grand finale. Then I send 4 text messages. To Felix. "Meet me at 1247 Industrial Drive. Come alone. We need to talk about Reina." To Reina. "Felix is in trouble. He needs your help. 1247 Industrial Drive, 6 p.m. Don't tell anyone." To Jenny. "Emergency. Reina's about to do something stupid. 1247 Industrial Drive, 6 p.m. Stop her." To Mira. "It's time. 1247 Industrial Drive, 6 p.m. Bring popcorn." By 6 p.m., I'm hidden in the warehouse rafters, watching through my camera feeds as they arrive one by one. Felix first, looking paranoid and desperate. Reina 10 minutes later, confused but determined. Jenny arrives last, clearly suspicious but unable to resist the drama. They gather in the center of the warehouse floor, under the lights I've positioned. The acoustics in the building are perfect. Every word echoes clearly. "What the hell is this?" Felix demands. "Where's Darren?" "Right here," I say, my voice amplified through the sound system. "Thanks for coming." They spin around, looking for me, but I'm invisible in the shadows above. "Darren?" Reina calls out. "What are you doing?" "I'm giving you what you wanted, honey, a chance to be honest for once in your life." The first projector flickers to life, displaying their text messages on the warehouse wall. Every intimate conversation, every lie they told their spouses, every plan they made behind our backs. "Oh God," Reina whispers. "That's just the beginning," I announce. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Darren Halloway Documentary Film Festival. Tonight's feature, How to Destroy a Marriage in 10 Easy Steps. The second projector shows hotel receipts, restaurant bills, credit card statements. A complete timeline of their affair, documented in excruciating detail. Felix tries to run for the door, but I've rigged it to lock electronically. He pounds on the steel, screaming obscenities, but there's no escape. "Darren, please," Reina begs. "We can work this out. We can fix this." "Fix this? You want to fix this?" The third projector comes alive, showing video footage from Romano's restaurant, from Mira's kitchen, from the hotel parking lot. Which part should we fix first? The lying, the cheating, or the embezzlement? Jenny tries to play innocent. "I don't know what you think I did, but... Oh, Jenny. Sweet, manipulative Jenny." The fourth projector displays her text messages, her bank records, her meetings with Felix. "Did you really think I wouldn't figure out that you've been blackmailing him? Taking money to keep quiet about the affair?" Her face goes white. "That's not... I never... You've been bleeding him dry, haven't you? Demanding payments to keep his secret. Too bad he was stealing that money from his clients." The final projector shows the FBI raid footage, news reports, social media posts, their entire world exposed and crumbling in real time. "This is insane," Felix screams. "You can't do this. It's illegal." Actually, it's not. Everything I've shown you is either public record or evidence of crimes you committed. I'm just the messenger. I climb down from the rafters, finally showing myself. They're all there. The three people who destroyed my life, trapped and exposed and completely at my mercy. "Here's what's going to happen," I announce. "Felix, you're going to prison. The FBI has enough evidence to put you away for 10 years minimum. Reina, your law license is toast. The state bar doesn't look kindly on attorneys who help their lovers commit fraud. And Jenny? Well, blackmail is a felony. I hope the money was worth it." "Darren," Reina steps toward me, tears streaming down her face. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I made a mistake." "A mistake? You made a choice. Every day for months you chose to betray me. You chose to mock me. You chose to plan a future with another man while I supported you, loved you, built a life around you. I can change. We can start over." "No, we can't. Because I'm not the same man I was yesterday. That man was weak, trusting, forgiving. That man is gone forever." I pull out a manila envelope and scatter its contents on the floor. Divorce papers, asset transfers, restraining orders. "Your things will be packed and waiting on the front porch. The locks have been changed. Don't try to contact me. Don't try to come home. We're done." Felix makes one last desperate play. "You think you're so smart? You think you've won? I'll destroy you for this." "With what? Your reputation? Your business? Your freedom?" I laugh, and the sound echoes off the warehouse walls. "Felix, you're a joke. You always were. The only reason you got away with anything is because people like me were too polite to call you out. But politeness is overrated." I walk to the warehouse door and enter the unlock code. The mechanism clicks open. "You're free to go. All of you. But remember, this isn't the end. This is just the beginning. Every time you think you've moved on, every time you think people have forgotten, I'll be there to remind them. Because that's what happens when you underestimate the quiet guy in the corner." They stumble toward the exit like refugees fleeing a war zone, broken, humiliated, destroyed. As they reach the door, I call out one last time. "Oh, and Reina, you were right about one thing. I am boring and predictable, but you forgot something important. Boring, predictable people are also patient. And patient people always get their revenge in the end." The warehouse falls silent, except for the hum of my equipment and the distant sound of traffic. I stand alone in the space where I've just destroyed 3 lives, and I feel nothing. No satisfaction, no regret. Just the cold, empty certainty that justice has been served. I pack up my equipment methodically, efficiently. Tomorrow, the real consequences begin. Criminal charges, civil lawsuits, social ostracism. Their lives will never be the same. But tonight, I'm going home to a house that's finally mine again. No lies, no betrayal, no pretense. Just me and the sweet silence of victory.